So good morning, everybody. My name is Wilson. Okay, today we're presenting our new product line, the Pro X product line. Also, we're going to go over some of the features of the solar camera as well. Let's get started. So for the Pro X series, we're going to go over NVRs first. Really, the current NVRs that we have in offer, there's 6 of them, from 4-channel to 64 channels. Mainly, they're separated into 3 categories. That will be the Light series, Intelligent series, Ultra Intelligent series. We'll start with the Light series. The Light series only has a 4-channel. And the main difference between the tiers is the recorder AI feature. You'll see like on the Light series for the 4-channel, it doesn't have any recorder AI features. So if you want to use any smart features like MD 2.0, line crossing detection, you'll need to get a camera that actually has those functions. Move on to the Intelligent series. The 8-channel, 16-channel, 32-channel, these have the AI features. Certain channels on the system, you're able to use the NVR to do the analytics for that channel. The Ultra Intelligent series, there's a 32-channel and a 64-channel. The main feature that it has compared to all the other 2 series is the X search. Basically what the X search does is either through live view or playback, you can select a target that's on the image, and the NVR will be able to find that target across multiple channels. You're able to see that, and we're going to do a demonstration at the end of the slides for the X search function as well. Okay, and then the IP camera solutions. LPR is a 4-megapixel LPR, right? It's able to log license plates. You're able to have a allow list, block list, and you can have those lists trigger certain things where there's alarm output. Color 24/7, pretty simple, right? Like at night, you'll see color as a white light as well that if it needs it, it'll turn on. And hybrid illumination, what it is it has the traditional infrared lights, and it also has the built-in white lights. But the hybrid illumination also has a third mode. When it goes to night mode, it'll be black and white. It'll use the infrared to see the night image. When it detects a target, like a person walking across, it'll switch to color mode and that white light will come on. And then after about a minute or so, it'll go back to the black and white image. Next, PTZ. Right now we have 2 PTZs, but both of them, they have like smart tracking, presets patrols, everything you would expect from the PTZ camera. The active deterrence for the Pro X lines, of course, it has the built-in speaker for the siren, for the alarm, and the strobe light for the active deterrence on the Pro X line, it's blue and red strobe light, so to kind of mimic like a police siren. MD 2.0 IP cameras, motion detection with human vehicle detection. Panoramic cameras, so we have the fisheye, we have 4-in-1, essentially has 4 cameras built into one. We also have a 2-in-1 camera as well. Okay, next slide. Yeah. Okay, so Pro X, the main features that we want to talk about today, there's 5 of them. X search, X deterrence, the tracking technologies, XPOE and X boost. So X search we talked about earlier is available on the Ultra Intelligent series NVRs. You're able to select a target, live view or playback, and it's able to search for that target across multiple channels. You'll need a camera that supports this X search function as well. Camera, as it records, it will capture a target's metadata. And that could mean, the color shirt that he's wearing. He's long hair, short hair, carrying a backpack, things like that. It will store that information into the system, and then when you're looking over a target, it will comb through the targets that it has captured and kind of show you the results of that. The X search function doesn't use facial recognition because there are certain states in the country right now that doesn't allow facial recognition. I think California might be one of them. Even if you're, using it where they're a bit iffy about facial recognition, you can still use the X search feature to, search for the targets. And right now for the X search cameras, we have the 2 models. They're both 8 megapixels, so 4K resolution, 2.8 millimeter lens. On each NVR, you're able to have up to 16 X search channels. Okay, so the X deterrence cameras, really they're active deterrence cameras. They have the built-in strobe light, speakers, built-in microphones. They're all color 24/7. MD 2.0, of course, hybrid illumination, infrared, and the white light. Right now we have 3 cameras that have them. 4-megapixel, 8-megapixel turret, and then the 180, the panoramic view. Dual mic array just means, they have 2 microphones. It's able to listen to both microphones and kind of filter out any background noise. That kind of shows it in action. Right, so you can see it, red light, blue light, and it has that siren. tracking technology. The two PTZ cameras, they both have smart tracking. We could kind of look at the video. This one, I think, is from the California office. They just kind of did a little test. You can see the guy in the hoodie, right, is able to detect this person and just able to track him. All right. So if you used the PTZ cameras before, smart tracking, that function should be pretty familiar to you. Yes, sir.
Question, what happens if you have multiple people on there and maybe kind of...
Well, it will track the first target that it detects, of course. Yeah. So like a line crossing. We also have what's called the E-tracking. So on the panoramic camera, it shows you a picture-in-picture image like you see here. Just kind of 3 views at the bottom. When somebody walk across, one of the window is kind of closest to the target, will kind of start tracking them digitally. Next one, this is for the XPOE. XPOE, essentially, it lets you run longer distance. So for a regular POE, 320 feet or so, extended mode or a long distance mode, so 820 feet. For the XPOE, you're able to push the regular connection 980 feet. If you enable the long distance on top of that, you'll get up to, what was that, 2,600 feet right there. Okay, XBoost pretty much is the recorder's ability to add AI features into a camera that doesn't have AI features. Whether you're using a Pro X camera that doesn't have AI features, or if you're using an OnViv camera, maybe as a third-party camera, you're able to add certain AI features. MD 2.0, so motion detection with human vehicle detection, and VCA pretty much just means like line crossing, intrusion detection, face detection and face recognition. Face detection meaning if it sees a face, that face detection will trigger. Face recognition actually compares it to a face database that you would create in the NVR. You can import pictures into it, like say, okay, this is Tom, and if it detects that face, it compares it with the picture. You'll say, okay, this is Tom that we've detected. But starting from the intelligence series, you're able to do MD 2.0 for 4 channels, okay? Or you could do line crossing on 2 channels, or 1 channel for face detection and face recognition. You'll have to choose, which camera, which function that you want. These functions you kind of have to pick and choose. Okay, and the Ultra Intelligence series also has this function, of course. It's able to support more channels, or you can do the 16 channel with the X-Search cameras. Okay, and with the Pro X line, it is NDAA compliant. We created our own supply chain for this line. We have it manufactured in unrestricted countries of origins. I think right now it is made in Vietnam. So nothing on the NVR is really manufactured in China, so we don't have to worry about any political, restrictions. The Pro X line also features a 5-year warranty. So you're able to use it for government projects, schools, easy to use. On the Pro X app, you're able to add the system, whether or not you register an account on the app. You can use the cloud function, the P2P function, just without creating an account at all. You can also, through the P2P function, access the web client of the system remotely. First, you would need to use the client software, XStation. You'll add in the system through the P2P function, and it should give you like a web icon that opens up the web login for the NVR. You're able to go in and do settings through there as well. Okay, you're able to configure the illumination mode. Let's say one of the hybrid illumination cameras. From the app, choose whether it's infrared mode, white light mode, or the smart illumination mode. You're able to just toggle through that. All of the NVRs are able to support the license plate recognition cameras. With the Pro X series, you don't really need to worry about the model numbers. So for the Pro X series, better imaging, well, we're gonna kind of look at some examples. This one, image comparison night with LED. Color 24/7, so it has that white light enabled. On the left, digital watchdog. It's color 24/7 as well, but you could see it's a bit it's a bit darker. And then the Hanwha, at the time, they didn't have like a color 24/7 model. This is without the white LED. On the Hanwha, you get sort of like a ghosting effect behind the targets. And a digital watchdog is again, is like a darker image as well. MD 2.0 comparison. So this one is a video. Pretty much he just walks down the lot. At certain point, the target box that the camera has drawn around the target, and as he walks further down, the third-party IP camera just loses it while the Pro X is still able to maintain that recognition.
You go into the app and you can configure motion zones. Is there anything like that?
No, on the app, you're not able to configure the motion zone. So you'll still need to do that through a computer, through the web configuration. Let's do a little demonstration. Currently for the X-Search cameras, I have them on channels 1 and 2. Even though you need X-Search cameras for this feature, you're able to initiate the search through any other channels. So right now, this is a PTZ camera that we have kind of at the office. Victor to, let's see if we can, I gotta log in. But there's an X-Search button, you click it. The NVR will draw a detection area across the target that it detects. And it has a little search icon right here. We hit that. Let's say we do, so a couple on the D1s and then on the D2, right? You know, we initiated the search, not from a X-Search camera.
Yeah, that was your question and that's the results. Right?
Yes.
So what is that 80% thing? What is
80%, okay, so that's confidence rate. You're able to adjust this slider, 65, okay? It's able to search more targets, but of course, since you lowered the percentage, you're gonna start getting some false alarms.
So that's helpful if somebody takes off a sweater, like trying to evade.
Yeah.
because they're not using facial, they're using a bunch of points that you
Capture everything else.
Right, or like if they like just, if the camera just caught like half the person in a certain image, right? Like here, right, like it only caught his first half, and that one is like a 75%. You know, so if we like lowered it to like 70% maybe, you know, it would kind of cut out the ones that that's not him. Yeah. We're also able to do that on playback. Okay, and this also works with like vehicles. Maybe a little bit less useful because it doesn't, you know, you're not getting the license plate numbers, but it is able to see like you know, if it's a sedan or if it's a van, you know, what color it is, things like that. Okay, let's pause it. Let's do the, there's the X-Search icon down here. Not all of you might be able to see it, but like it's on the bottom section. Okay, X-Search. Okay, it drew 2 targets. Let's say we choose Jackie. Okay, we can search him, and let's say we search all of that day. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, you know, you're able to track, you know, that person, let's say throughout the day and see, you know, where he's been to, what he was doing, just taking sodas. The E tracking, this one is the panoramic. Let's see. So, you know, you could do the E tracking, and it's really just for monitoring purposes. Okay, so you can do this on the live view, but it's not gonna like, you know, record sort of these picture-in-picture views. Okay, let's say I cross this line. Okay, you'll see that window starts following me right there.
So, just to make sure, which camera is that?
That's the panoramic, that's the 180. So we also look at the fisheye as well. So the fisheye, we have a people counting set up. As people counting as heat map. Do a people counting, that one's on camera 12. And you know, it'll show you like, okay, you know, how many people enter, how many people leave. Also the heat map is available on the fisheye camera. Let's do yesterday. Let's search that. And let me see. Yeah, I think this one, they don't have it matched. So as far as like setting up the app goes, it's pretty similar. We're gonna go to like the configuration, network, and well, on the P2P page right here, I could just scan this. You know, port forwarding, it could be a little bit faster, but you know, you're having to open ports on your router, that could be a security concern.
Let's say you do P2P, and the customer has a power outage, router goes out, comes back on. Will it come back up? Will they still be able to see their cameras on their phone remotely, and having not affected it, the power outage?
No, you should be fine. So as long as you know the NVR has internet, is able to talk to the P2P server,
Okay.
then you should be good to go. This is the system that we just added. Yeah. So you can live view, has the playback button right there. We could do playback. Yeah. We can scroll.
And you still can zoom in, right, into that playback, like zoom in.
Like a digital zoom, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can kind of like pinch and.
And how about the timestamp? Can you still zoom in through, for example, minutes?
Do the timestamp? Yeah,
Oh,
you
okay,
can.
yeah.
Yeah, you can magnify that as well. Yeah.
Can you search for humans, vehicles? I can do.
Currently, no. Currently, you're just doing like the regular playback
Yes.
on the phone app. Yeah.
And then, for example, on that camera there,
Yes.
any other like functions you can do?
Any other
Like
functions?
light or
You can do. You know, if your camera has the strobe light, you can turn that on. If it has a siren, you can turn it on as well.
Can you talk through the camera with the app?
Yes.
Does the app support Xsearch?
The app does not support Xsearch. So Xsearch currently, you either have to do it locally on the local screen or through the web interface. The solar camera we've had for, I think, a couple of years now. It's in the Platinum series. Why would we use solar cameras? The job that you're working at, doesn't have the infrastructure to maybe run power to the camera or run network, or maybe it has a really high cost if you want to do so. So the solar camera, 80-watt solar panel, 4 90 watt-hour batteries. Depending on what working mode you have the camera on, it could last up to 8 days. The camera takes on average about 2 watts of power. It has low battery warning. It could notify you on the phone app. So the camera has a built-in 4G module. 4G, we recommend using either T-Mobile or Verizon. Generally, when you get the SIM card, you just need to get, like a regular data plan.
You can actually go to the site and ask for something called the Internet of Things SIM card. That way, you will only get the data, but not a phone number or your text message feature. So just an IoT SIM card.
Okay, it's all in one design. So when you're purchasing the solar camera, it's in a kit, right? Comes with the solar panel, comes with the batteries, the mounting equipment, so it could be wall mounted or it could be pole mounted as well. It's going to come with those the metal rings and the connections for it, and then of course the camera itself. And this is the camera model number. We'll look at some of the specs on the camera. So the camera features 3 different working modes. Standby mode, proactive mode, performance mode. By default, it's going to come in the proactive mode. So you can do continuous recording. The communication, you can do event only, so it can kind of just communicate to your phone app if it detects a person, for example. Performance mode kind of unlocks the smart perimeter protection, which is the line crossing, the intrusion detection. And then the standby mode just has regular motion detection or like a schedule capture. Okay, so how long does the battery last? Okay, so it depends a little bit on the working mode that you have it on. So we talked about the 8 days without sunlight operation. That's on the proactive mode. So that's on the default mode that the camera is on, is able to do up to 8 days without sunlight on a full charge. If you're on the performance mode, up to 5 days. On the standard mode, you could get up to 80 days. full charge time, so how long it takes from pretty much 0 to 100, right? On performance mode, it's going to take up to 4 days. Proactive mode 2 days, and then standard standby mode 1.5. And these numbers are kind of based on if you're looking at performance mode, it's just the 4G module is on all day preview. So the solar camera has the PT cloud function.
How would it join into the network? What was that?
How will it join to the network? Assuming you're using the SIM card, right? It's going to get the internet communication through the SIM card. You'll need to activate the camera and make sure the SIM card is communicating, everything like that. Turn on the PT cloud function, and once that PT cloud function is on, the status shows online, right? You're able to scan it on the phone app and just add it to the phone app like you would a regular NVR, DVR. Yeah.
So how would you do all that steps before you get to the scanning point?
Right.
Because there's no web interface.
There's a web interface for the camera.
And how do I connect to it? Because it doesn't have any network on it.
On the camera itself, it has an Ethernet connection.
Oh, it has a port. Okay.
Yes. So you're able to connect it that way, yeah.
But cannot connect it to NVR existing.
If you're using the SIM card communication, it cannot add to the NVR. Okay, so if you're using the SIM card, just on the phone app, and you can also on the NVMS v3 on the computer, you're able to log into the account and see the camera that way. Yeah.
So if I'm able to run a network cable for any scenario where I cannot get power, I can use this camera and have the NVR power the camera on PoE and record it on the NVR, or
let me mention, the camera itself does not have PoE function.
Okay. So
Okay.
I can use the solar function to power the camera and use the network function to get the feed to my
You can,
network
yes,
and
yes.
record it on the NVR.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
The new LTS solar-powered IP camera is built to be a self-sufficient surveillance solution in our IP camera line. Made for usage in rural areas, the camera requires no electrical wiring or network cables and comes with a built-in 4G module for remote connection. Its mobile, modularized design also facilitates the transportation and setup process, thus cutting down installation costs. The camera's built-in modular 360 watt-hour rechargeable lithium battery supports smart, long-term power management via different power modes. The camera can run up to 8 days of continuous operation upon a full charge without direct sunlight. The 80-watt photovoltaic solar panel is adjustable at different angles for optimal sunlight intake. The solar camera comes with a surface mount and pole mount bracket. The camera can receive cellular signals through a T-Mobile 4G SIM card. It is built with an internal memory of 64 gigabytes eMMC storage and supports up to 256 gigabytes of additional storage via micro SD card. Equipped with Color 24/7 and ultra-low lux technology, the camera records full-color footage at all hours of the day. Details that would otherwise get lost in darkness will still be captured in 4K 8-megapixel image resolution. With MD 2.0, it is also able to accurately filter instances of human or vehicle activity within set parameters. Users will be alerted of instances such as line crossing and perimeter intrusion through push notifications from NVMS v3 software, as well as the LTS Connect mobile app, whether it's for parking lots, parks, farmland, or temporary construction sites. The new solar camera provides a powerful, eco-friendly monitoring solution that requires minimal maintenance. The camera is durable enough to withstand inclement weather, and the battery maintains operations in temperatures as low as -4 degrees Fahrenheit. Powered by renewable energy for a sustainable future, the LTS solar camera is your answer for remote area surveillance needs. Thank you for watching.
Let's say you don't want to use the SIM card. You are able to use these wireless bridges that we've specifically for the solar camera. Point-to-point wireless communication, up to 3 miles, 35-degree antenna angle. So if you want to use a point-to-multi-point configuration, you can have one as an access point, and then within about 35 degrees, you can add up to 4 stations, 2 gigabit Ethernet ports, 12-volt DC passive PoE. Is going to come with a special PoE injector, sort of signal lights on the side, has a little lid on the bottom. So it has your 2 Ethernet ports. One is for your PoE. It can communicate with these SSID, the dip switches that it has. So the first dip switch allows you to choose the mode. Well, there's AP mode, so access point, or CPE mode. That would be like a station. The next 4 is to control the SSID. Essentially, you just need to have both the AP and the CPE SSIDs matching. Special PoE injector, 12 volt, passive PoE. For the DC 12 volts, the solar camera itself has a power output. You can either use it to power up the PoE injector or power up the antenna. You do have to enable the power output inside the camera first.
So the 8 days runtime does not consider that you're using.
It does not consider this, yeah. So, because if you're using it to connect it back to like an NVR, then that means the bridge is always going to be communicated. From what I've heard, essentially it's going to be on the performance mode. So it's going to be about like 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah. The next few slides are just kind of typical, like popular applications, you know, where some applications you could use it on. So farmlands, right? Forest, industrial lines, festivals, construction sites.
So on the solar panel, let's say we had hail and it damaged the actual solar panel. Could we call you guys? I can call Lucas and say, hey, you know what? The panel's broken. Can I just buy just the panel itself?
I know for the replacement process, you are able to replace just a part.
Okay.
Yeah, that's everything I got for you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you. Thank you.